Welcome. I'm so glad to see you all here. And I know there will be others watching the recording, so welcome to them. And I was just asking if anyone had feedback, an aha, a win, a question, and I'm letting someone in. So be brave.
I'll go if you like.
I
don't know about anybody else, but I'm sleeping really well. I mean, I can't listen to the whole of the recording. I'm asleep before you're done talking. I can't stay awake, so that's good.
Comfortable. You can flip the chair back, push back, just enjoy.
Oh, I listened to it last thing at night. So yeah, it's fabulous.
Sorry. Wonderful. And that is one of the big benefits of doing this with hypnosis, is you do get better sleep. And since the subconscious mind is always listening, it doesn't matter if you fall asleep at the beginning or at the end. If you want to know what's being said, then just listen to it once or twice during the week. And that's why I keep them at 20 minutes or less, so that that's easy to do. So any other questions, ahas, feedback?
Can I ask a question, Diana? How many times do you want us to listen to the recording?
Every night.
Every day.
To go to it every night. I've been doing this 24 years, and I still go to sleep to an audio almost every night. I don't have to, but I find I do sleep better. It's full of, I have a whole array, of course, of ones to listen to. They're all full of wonderful, positive suggestions. We live in a negative world, so what's not to like? Also, my mentor and the man that started the centers that I had in California, Positive Changes Hypnosis, Patrick Porter, you might want to follow him under the name of Brain Tap or his name on Facebook. He's been doing this 40 years. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last meeting, but he flew me out for a meeting in North Carolina a couple of years ago. And in the middle of the meeting, he said, we're going to adjourn for half an hour because it's time for me to do my hypnosis. And I thought, if he can do it in the middle of a meeting after 40 years, and after being the formulator and inventor of this incredible program, then so can I. I hope my voice holds up. Las Vegas, maybe Nevada as a whole, I don't know, but definitely Las Vegas is having the worst allergy season it's ever had. And until today, I was doing okay with it. But of course, because I have a class today, it decided to sort of kick in. So I have a lozenge going here, and I will be drinking water, and please forgive the gravelly voice.
I always have a gravelly voice, and this is my first class. I was otherwise engaged last Friday, and I didn't really listen. I didn't listen at all to the video, to the audio, but I just today listened to the class. So I hope that doesn't impact me too much.
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, you know, I don't want any of this to feel like pressure or obligation or no should involved. I recommend things. I recommend some things very strongly. But all of this is collaborative. All of this is knowing that in the end, you are the last word. And what's one of the best things about doing it this way is that your inner tuition, your intuition, your inner wisdom gets stronger and stronger the more you do it. And so you know what's right for you. And even if you know something's right for you, but you do something else, I don't want you to like give yourself a hard time. Just go, okay, that was then, this is now. And let's go forward. So that makes sense?
Okay.
Good. Well, today we're going to do tapping. And then after we do that, and possibly something else, depending on time, then we're going to do the hypnosis on cravings, because I think anytime weight is an issue, cravings are involved. So can you tell me in the chat whether or not, or by a show of hands, doesn't matter. Let me let Margaret in. Whether or not you've done tapping. Well, let's just do a show of hands this way.
A little tapping, but I wouldn't say that I did tapping.
Okay. And even if you've done it, I do a couple of things slightly differently. So I'm going to do it teach it from beginning to end. It doesn't take long. It's really easy. And once you get it, it only takes a minute or two. And I was lucky enough to learn it from the man who put it on the planet, Gary Craig. Learned it with 7 other people in his living room up in Sea Ranch in California, which was just such a privilege. And because of that, I sort of felt comfortable adapting and changing things. Well, I always do anyway. I like to adapt things to what I think may be a little slightly better way of doing it. So the best way to teach this is to have someone volunteer and maybe do it for something like stress. Almost anyone can create stress in their body by thinking of something that typically stresses them out. It could be a person, it could be traffic, it could be technology, whatever it is that actually brings that into your body so you can rate it on a scale of 0 to 10, at least at a 6 or 7. So Caroline, did you raise your hand?
I did.
Great. And what would you like to do it on? Tapping is good for any negative emotion, literally any negative emotion. I've been teaching it for 24 years, have taught it to well over 7,000 people. 100%. I have never, ever worked with someone who didn't remove a negative emotion. It can also remove pain and physical things, but we're not at 100% there. I'm going to guess maybe 75%. So that's why we're going to do it on an emotion. Now, it doesn't mean that emotion will never come back. It may or it may not. If it's stress, we live in such a stressful world, it's probably going to come back. If you've had anxiety all of your life, now you have a major tool to deal with it, but that doesn't mean it'll never come back. But now you can get rid of it in a minute or two. And now, finally, all these years later, within the last few years, they have done, I think, 230 studies, peer-reviewed, authentic studies proving that tapping works beyond the shadow of a doubt. So it's good stuff. I'm going to send you a diagram of the points, so don't worry about that. And I'm going to send you the directions. So what I'd like everyone to do is tap along as Caroline and I are tapping. You choose what you want to tap on. They call it borrowed benefits, where when you're watching someone else tap and doing the motion with it with a different intention, it works. It's just quite magical. So what would you like to work on, Caroline?
Oh, well, I have 2 major stressors. One is finances, and the other is traffic.
Which one brings a higher number on a scale of 0 to 10?
When
you think about it right now, not when you're in the traffic, right now.
Oh, right now. Okay. I guess finances then.
Finances?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I think about, I've never really been in a situation that I am now, and I'm in like a lot of debt, and I'm kind of old, and so and I'm not making as much money as I need to reduce the debt. And when I think about it, it kind of makes me crazy. So I sometimes just put it away so I don't think about it, because I can't really do anything about it right now.
Great. So that's a good thing to put it away. But now you'll actually, when you just sort of push it away or repress it or stuff it down, it's still wreaking havoc in your body.
Yeah.
So by doing the tapping, you can actually release it from your body.
That'd be great.
And that leaves you with more clarity and more energy to fix whatever it is. So has everyone picked what they're gonna do? You can do any negative emotion, fear, anger, sadness, stress, anxiety. And are you all gonna do it along with us?
You know what? I just
What?
thought the thing that actually is even bigger than that is the political climate. When I think about that,
Okay,
that is number 10.
and that's true for a lot of people. So let's give that one word. The difference between tapping solution, which millions of people do, and which is great. I use it too. But they do tapping in quite a complicated way where they're saying all different things. I do it in a very simplistic way because that way you can use it. Especially if you're stressed out, you're not going to be able to think of these complicated things without listening to their audio. This way you can do it. So pick one word, whether it's stress, anger, fear, the primary emotion that the political climate brings into your mind and body.
Almost hate to say fear, but that's what it is.
Fear?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're going to start at the karate chop point, where if you were breaking a brick, doing karate, you would come down on this point of your hand. You're going to tap on it, either hand, doesn't matter, and say, even though I have this, and I'm going to be saying fear, but you say whatever you're doing it for in your mind. And Caroline, you'll do it out loud.
Okay.
Even though I have this fear,
Even though I have this fear,
I love and accept myself completely.
I love and accept myself completely.
Even though I have this fear,
Even though I have this fear,
I choose to let it go.
I choose to let it go.
And I can do that.
And I can do that.
Even though I have this fear,
Even though I have this fear,
I love and accept myself completely.
I love and accept myself completely.
So now we're going to do the points. We're just going to use that word, fear. You can get more complicated with it if you do that easily. That's fine. And you can keep it just this simple. So tapping at the start, at the top of the head, the key point is here, where if you were a puppet, where the string would be. But if you go around like a little tiny yarmulke on top of your head, first of all, it feels better. And I'm always in favor of things feeling good. And second, you pick up extra points. So this fear.
This fear.
Now you come down to your temples, not the temples themselves, but the bony ridge right in front of the temples. Classic tapping teaches it this way, and you can do that if you prefer it. Again, I think it feels better to do it this way, and you're actually picking up more points. Your face is loaded with acupressure points. And for anyone that doesn't know, this is a combination of acupressure and kind of a self-hypnosis. This fear.
This fear.
You can do it with either hand. You can do it together. And after we do this, I'm going to show you sneaky tapping where no one will know you're doing it. Now you're going to go to your two eyebrows. You can do it this way, the beginning of the eyebrow, or you can do it with these two fingers and then let this finger fall on what happens to be the third eye.
Can I do this?
This fear.
This fear.
Now, and by the way, you can do it in any order. You could have done this first and then this. Actually, that might even make a little more sense. We do it in this order to make it easy to remember. So then you go under the eyes, the bony ridge under the eyes. You don't want to tap on that fragile skin and get extra wrinkles. This fear.
This fear.
Under the nose. This fear.
This fear.
Between the lips and the chin.
This fear.
This fear. Now you're going to put your index fingers right under the clavicles, these bones here, and then let the other fingers fall where they may. This fear.
This fear.
And this one you can also do like this, or you can do it like this, I do it different ways at different times. Again, follow your instincts. The chimpanzee point is right where your bra is, right underneath where you would put deodorant. The sphere. And
This
now we're going to go to the hands and add letting go. So you're going to be at the side of the thumb and then each finger saying, I'm letting go of this sphere right now.
I'm letting go of this sphere right now.
And I can't see your hands that well. Are you right at the next to the nail?
Next to the nail on outside here.
Yeah, I guess it's the outside. And then we're going to go to the next one.
Okay,
So it's and you can do it with one finger or two fingers. I use two fingers. I'm letting go of this sphere right now.
I'm letting go of the sphere right now.
I'm letting go of this sphere because I can't do anything about it at this moment.
I'm letting go of the sphere right now.
I can't do anything about it at this moment.
I can't do anything about it at this moment.
And you can add in things like that if you want to, or you can just say this sphere. I'm letting go of this sphere completely.
I'm letting go of this sphere completely.
It's not helping me. I don't want it. I'm letting it go.
It's not helping me. I don't want it, and I'm letting it go.
Letting go of this sphere right now.
I'm letting go of this sphere right now.
Letting this go right now.
Let's go right now.
Some people do it like this. They just grasp their wrist. I like a nice gentle pat. You get to choose. Take a nice deep breath and then exhale with intention, everyone. Letting it go. Now go back inside, think about the political climate, and give it a number on a scale of 1 to 10.
It's like a 3.
Wow, impressive. Okay, at 3, you can decide, do I want to do it again or not? It only takes a minute, so you could do it again and bring it down to a 0, or you could say, okay, that's fine, I could deal with a 3. If you do it again, and this will be in your directions, you just add 2 words. So we won't do a whole round, but we'll start anyway. Even though I still have this remaining fear.
You know, I still have this remaining fear.
I love and accept myself completely.
I love and accept myself completely.
Even though I still have this remaining fear.
Even though I still have this remaining fear.
I choose to let it go.
I choose to let it go.
And I can do that.
And I can do that.
I am the boss of me.
I am the boss of me.
Even though I still have this remaining fear.
Even though I still have this remaining fear.
I love and accept myself completely.
I love and accept myself completely.
This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
And then you go through the points. Sometimes when you're at a 3, you don't even have to go through many of the points. I'd be happy to send you all a class where I taught a group of British hypnotherapists tapping, and I've got some stories in there that deepen this a little more. So just let me know if you want that. Also, sneaky tapping. If you're out for lunch or at a meeting, you're not going to want to go like this. Although I did have that happen at lunch one day with a hypnotherapist. It was totally comfortable tapping and including this. Most people aren't. So then what you can do is just stimulate the points. You can do it with like a little circular motion or pressing in, set your intention. And then all of these, when you think about it, are points that we touch naturally anyway when we're under stress or having a negative thing happen. You can do it all at once, or you can break it up if you're feeling self-conscious and don't want to bring attention to the fact that you're doing it. My feeling is most people are not watching us that carefully. This you can do this way. And the fingers are the easiest to do of all. And some people find that when they're in public, they just do the fingers and that works. So experiment with this, find out what works best for you. I had one woman who had been in pain for 10 years who the first time she ever tapped got rid of it. And she had spent $100,000 over the years to get rid of that pain and never made it budge. So this is powerful stuff. Also, what fascinated me was I was so blown away. It was the first time I'd ever seen tapping. And it's what got me into it so strongly. So I called her the next day, 3 days later, a week later, 3 weeks later, and the answer was always the same. No pain unless she did something too much, like gardening or bicycling or whatever. And if she did, she just tapped. What was even more fascinating was she didn't even tap on all the points. She had like 3 points that she liked, and that's what she tapped on. I recommend doing all of the points because all of these points are connected to major energy systems, major organs, major, you know, where we have our nervous system, our digestive system, all of the systems in our bodies are covered by these points, which is why they've been able to prove things with MRIs and blood tests. So I recommend using all of them. Now, do you know what the hardest thing about tapping is? It only takes a minute, so it's
Doing
not
it.
that.
Doing it is the hardest thing.
Well, but even before that, I would say remembering to do it. It's so easy to forget that you have this huge tool in your pocket. You're not reading about it for the most part. You're not seeing it on television or in magazines or hearing people talk about it. So it's really easy to forget. And what I would do is put a post up like in front of your computer, maybe on your rearview mirror, on your mirror in your bathroom, on your refrigerator. Have you tapped today? Because the best way to really get this into your nervous system, into your wiring, is to tap every day, just for a minute or two. And if you have nothing to tap about that's negative, I recommend starting each day with what's called positive tapping, which actually came along a few years later. And with positive tapping, you don't start here. You start just with the points. And you can either do it for one thing, whatever your primary goal is, or you can do it as a running stream of consciousness in the present. So I feel great. Let's everyone do it together. I feel wonderful. I'm really looking forward to the day. I'm so glad I'm taking care of myself. I love these new tools I'm using. I feel good that I'm doing these things. I'm excited that with each and every day I'm getting closer to my ideal weight. It feels good to be me. I'm excited about my day. So you can start your day that way. I would pick, as it was either tiny habits or atomic habits that said, put any new habit with an old habit. So either do it when you get out of bed in the morning, or before or after you brush your teeth, or before or after you have whatever you have in the morning. So that will really help you install the points. If you do watch my class, I tell a story that I won't go into in detail now, unless it turns out we have time. But the bottom line of the story is I hit a point where I went into a full panic attack. It was shortly after I learned tapping many years ago. And I had the full-blown hands shaking, knees shaking, and I was on a metal bridge when it was raining, so it was very slippery, and it was rush hour. So it was very dangerous. And the last thing I wanted to do is start tapping. So I said, speed dial those points. And it worked. Everything that was to do with the panic attack stopped like that. So, but I had been tapping every day, not only for myself, but because I was teaching tapping every day. And so I'd really thoroughly gotten that wiring installed. And my subconscious mind knew what I was talking about and took it away. Is that cool or what? In fact, I should have done it this morning for the allergies. Even though I have these allergies, I love and accept myself completely. Even though I have these allergies, I choose to let them go. Even though I have these allergies, I love and accept myself completely. These allergies. So it's something you can use for so many things, and it is just so incredibly powerful. Now, a lot of my clients prefer havening, and I understand why. Havening is so soothing and so feel good. And there is something a little odd about tapping, you know, it's not in your general daily activities. Whereas havening, just from the first time you do it, feels good. So you can try havening first. It's much newer. It hasn't had the 230 studies done proving it works. So if it doesn't, then do your tapping. Another way you can do it is to do the tapping and then end it like a cherry on top with havening. So now you've gotten down to a 3 or a 1 or a 0, and you just end it with, I feel good. All is well. Life is good. And that kind of seals it in nicely. So any questions? Not even one question? Okay, does it sound good?
Are we gonna do the havening now?
Oh, we did it last week, but we can always do it now. Let me see a show of hands because everyone else was here last week, I think. Everyone but Jackie.
Caroline.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's just very simple. You just start at your shoulders. The way I do it is to rotate my hands and bring it down to the ends of my fingers instead of doing it in 2 motions, because there are lots of nerve endings on the insides of your forearms. And again, because it feels better. The man who devised this does the hands like this. I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. I would much rather have a light tickling feeling. And then you can do your face if you want. And I'm sure you'll notice this is
Do
picking up.
you think about something when you're doing it?
You can or you can't, it's up to you. You can think things like all is well. I love myself. That's always a good one because none of us love and take care of ourselves enough, which is pretty weird. We're not taught to do that, so it doesn't come naturally. You can do it thinking of releasing something specific, releasing this fear. If you're doing it at the end of tapping, you've already released it. So I think all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. It's always a good one to do. You can also imagine something like if you had a good relationship with your mother, that she's kind of hugging you. Or you can think of an animal that you really love, because that's unconditional, uncomplicated love. You can think of your inner child. And that's something that a lot of us resist doing. And she's there. And if she isn't getting attention and love, she's going to cause problems. So you can think of her and tell her you love her. So do you know what the second hardest thing about tapping is? The first one is to remember to do it.
Mhm.
The other is to not talk yourself out of doing it. So say you've got a busy day ahead, you realize your stress level is pretty high. You think, I should tap. And then your next thought is, I don't need to do that. I'm okay. I can just let it go. I can like breathe while I'm doing 10,000 different things. I don't need to tap. So I'd just like to say, do it anyway. Everyone here okay with my swearing? Anyone not okay with swearing? Okay. You could even put on one of your post-its. Did you do your fucking tapping today? So just do it, or just fucking do it. Tell you a quick story about when I had my center up in Santa Rosa. One of the hypnotherapists came up to me and said, I'll be leaving very quickly after my last session today because I've got a really bad pain in my neck and I'm going to go see my chiropractor. So I said, did you tap on that? And she said, no, I'm seeing my chiropractor. Said, would you like to do it anyway? No, it's okay. I'm seeing the chiropractor. Would you like to do it anyway? She realized it wasn't going to let up. So, okay, we tapped. The pain went away. Did she say, oh, thank you, that's great, the pain is gone? No, human beings are very complicated. She said, well, now what do I do? I have an appointment with the chiropractor. So there's a part of us that just doesn't want to change. There's a part of us that doesn't want to do things that would be helpful. So another thing you could put on your Post-it is, do you want to do it anyway? Or you can think of me saying that to you. Do you want to do it anyway? Let's do it anyway. Okay, it's very powerful. I highly recommend it. And I'll be the first one to admit, I don't always think of doing it. And so the more you do it, the more it's going to be what they call top of mind in the advertising business. The more you do it, the more you're going to have that knee-jerk reaction to do it when you're under pressure, which is when you're least likely to think about doing it unless you have been doing it every day. And some people that don't have a lot of negativity and stress going on in their lives just do positive tapping every day. And then when they suddenly have something negative pop up, they're prepared and their nervous system is prepared. Okay, we're going to do the hypnosis. Let me make sure that I covered everything I was planning to cover. Yes, and thank you very much, Caroline, for volunteering. Really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I don't think I said that. I'm just so happy that you're here. It means so much to me. And I can't wait to see all the great things that happen for you guys. And please do join the Facebook group. Please do share your wins, your ahas, your celebrations, and your questions. Okay? Is everyone ready for hypnosis? No last minute questions? All right, we're going to stop the recording.